So first on the list is the Honorable Deputy Majority Leader Erwin Tulfo. For those who would wish to ask questions, Comsec, can you please get in touch with all our members kung sinong interested to ask questions. May we now recognize the Honorable Deputy Majority Leader Erwin Tulfo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to direct my question to the DA or to NFA. Around July, August, or September, we were promised na rice prices will stabilize after the harvest season, like around November, December, about this month. Ang problema, nung pag-ikot po namin ni Speaker, wala po kami nakitang bumaba na presyo ng bigas. Rice prices maintained at 52 plus 60. May nakita po kami trader or retailer na nagbenta at 46, 48. Siya lang po mag-iisa. The reason when he was asked was simply na mataas pa rin po ang bigas eh. I don't know if it was NFA or DA or the traders were saying bababa ho ito. Everybody was anticipating bababa ang presyo ng bigas because mag-aani. Whatever happened to that Department of Agriculture or NFA doon sa promise na bababa, and people were waiting. Kaya nga naglagay pa po tayo ng rice price cap ang Pangulo, eh wala rin. So, whatever happened to that? Bakit hindi po bumaba?
May we get a reaction, Yusek Leo? Who would be best to answer the query of the Honorable Tulfo? Admin Rod?
Mr. Chair, yes, for NFA. No? Actually, we expected July, August, September to be the season, the lean season. No? And traditionally, prices go up during that period. Normally, we harvest about a little over 8 million tons of palay in the first half. And at that time, I think the PSA report was a little higher. And that could provide us about 4 or 5 months of consumption. No? But the next harvest season is 7 months away. So there's always that supply gap, no? Which is addressed by importation. Now, as a country, the whole year, we produce normally 10 months of consumption, and we normally import about 2.5 months of rice to cover that shortfall in local production. In fact, in 2022, we imported 1 month more compared to 2021. So it may be an indication that there's a shortfall in production between 2021 2022, although it's not reflected in the official statistics. So we couldn't, as we're supposed to be governed by official data through our PSA. No? So, but our agency, just because we're a risk management agency, no? So we have to apprise the president, the secretary at the same time about the risk that we may be facing, despite what are the official figures. So one of them is the low uptake of fertilizer, no, among our farmers, and that would spell a big difference in yield. No? So those are risks, and then also, of course, because of the speculation of the lower production, not just locally but internationally because of El Nino, there will be positioning of inventories, not just by the private sector but also among countries, no, in their government, to put up bigger buffer stocks. In particular, Indonesia, no, that announced late in March that they will buy at least 2 million tons, and that would spell a big difference in the market because Indonesia has not imported significantly in the past 3 years, 4 years. So there would be price pressure in the world market, and that somehow would also pull up the prices when Vietnam and Thailand finished their dry season crop after April 20 of this year, no? So after that, there's a rising trend, no? Although there's another production towards May, June in Vietnam, but the pressure because of Indonesia was too much and prices in the world market went up. And that coincided also in the low supply of our country, July, August, September. Somehow the import parity this time is higher than the landed cost is higher than for imported than the local production, no? So all of this confluence of factors pushed up our prices in the market. Now, it's only in sometime in September, late September, that we're starting to harvest again, and there were some already reprieve in the prices, and yet still there is an upward pressure, no, in the market. Now, as NFA itself, operation of NFA, we're limited to calamity relief, no. We're still tasked to provide stability in palay prices in favor of our farmers by giving them the minimum price, no, guaranteed
Yes,
price.
just to, I'm sorry,
Yes.
admin. May I inquire kung magkano po nagastos ninyo dun yung sa pambili natin, itong sa harvest season? Because the last time we met, I think August, tama ba yung si Cleo?
Yeah.
You still had 8.5 billion of the 9 billion pesos
Yes,
sa
Mr. Chair.
procurement. So, itong season na to, magkano nang disburse ninyo?
Ang na-disburse natin for the year, no, for the season.
For the year,
For the season.
For the season.
it's about 1.2
About 1.2 billion lang, no?
So Director, which means you still have 7 billion
Yes.
patapos na ang taon.
Yeah.
Hindi nyo
Well, ang problema kasi natin sa NFA, we're setting a guaranteed floor price for our farmers. And that is also our ceiling buying price, no? So when there's a price pressure, kung mataas yung sa labas, there's no chance talaga for us to buy, no? The presumption then is there's a surplus in supply wherein prices would soften down to that below the guaranteed price, and we're going to save the farmer. In the process, then we build up our buffer stock. But then if prices are very high outside, then there's no chance unless that we will chase after the price. No, we wanted, actually, we increased it to 23, we wanted 25 or even higher, but that is going to be inflationary on the part of the government, no? So, and we don't want that. We just buy 5-10% of the market. That's our target. Yet, it will influence the 90-95% of the market, which we do not want also. So, as presided by the President in our last NFA Council meeting, they would not allow that us to chase after the price, no? Otherwise, it will aggravate price pressure. And that happened already this year in Indonesia, wherein they increased twice their minimum buying price on the from the farmers, and yet they were only able to buy less than 5% of their target. So they were not able to buy. That's why they decided just for government to import, regardless of what's the effect of that in the world market, no? So in
Mr.
other
Chair.
words, we haven't bought our target.
Mr. Chair, I'll just limit my questions, like 1 to 2 questions for the NFA, and then we go to the eggs kasi marami tayong mga kasama na nakapila. Administrator, Mr. Chair, so we've heard the problem. Mataas, etc., konti, ani. So what do we plan to do with this? Ang importante is the reason why we're here. That's why this hearing is called, to find a solution na magiging affordable ang bigas ngayong magpapasko December. Magiging affordable yung mga itlog. So what do we plan to do? Do you have any solution for now? Lalo yung sinasabi niyo ho na meron pa pala kayong natitirang budget na ilang bilyon Di ba pwedeng gamitin yung pambili to ease up itong walang respite sa presyo ng bigas? Can we do something about it? That's what our people would want to hear. Ang gusto lang nila marinig sa Kongreso, sa committee na ito, bababa ang presyo ng bigas. Can we do that?
Yes, Mr. Chair, Your Honor. No, ang recommendation natin sa presidente for immediate, no, we have also for the next cropping season, no, to expand production under the National Rice Program. But in the meantime, we're trying to expand supply. No, NFA buying local will not expand supply. No, it will be coming from the same pool. So palay prices have shooted up to 30 pesos, as much as 30 pesos already. No, and we cannot be party to that. You know, inflation cannot be driven by government. It should be market driven. So our solution is to make that supply expand. So the function of NFA is no longer allowed. No, I mean we're no longer allowed to import. So we can only make policy recommendation. Now, traditionally, we import from Vietnam and Thailand, and prices have gone up so high. So our recommendation to keep Vietnam and Thailand prices in check is to seek alternative supply. No? And since India actually banned the export of rice since July 20, non-basmati rice, but they allowed for a G2G na transactions, no, for humanitarian purposes, and they did allow us to 295,000 metric tons of white rice to be exempted from the ban, and that is on a G2P, you know, government to private sector arrangement, and we're encouraging the importers to avail of that so that we will be able to expand our traditional source of supply, not just from Vietnam and Thailand, but also India, which plays a big part in the supply in the world market. So the talks are already ongoing. We're going to have initial shipments from India within this month of December. But there's still some resistance, Your Honor, because of the perception that Indian rice quality is inferior and would not, of course, match Vietnam and Thailand. Yet the prices from India is still very, very high. No, they were hoping that prices are lower but India imposed 20% export tariff, no, to keep also on their part 20% export tariff that will add another $100 in their prices because they want also to tame their domestic prices to go below $400 ex meal because of inflation purposes, and it's a big election issue for India. So those are the things. But for now, what we're looking at, we hope to get alternative sources and expand supply. And then cost might be somehow, hopefully later on, will be tempered by the additional supply, although we know that prices in the world market is going to be very, very tough for our consumers.
So, Mr. Chair, in short, what are you telling us na bababa ang presyo ng bigas ngayong December? When the Indian import?
I think, Mr. Chair, no, Your Honor, together with the renewed interest to import, no, because we encourage the industry to play their part, because we need to import around 320,000 tons, so 300,000 tons a month to keep the supply stable. And hopefully with that, we can keep the prices stable too, no, as a fact. But October, November, volume went down, no? Also last July yata bumagsak din, no, to below our targets in terms of supply stability. What we can say, Your Honor, is actually we will have more supply by December. Prices is something that we hope that will go down, but considering that there is no more supply from the local market, these are all secondary trade already going into the intercity and Golden City at 30 pesos. unfortunately, there will still be a challenge in the prices of rice for December. But what we want is stability in supply first.
All right, Mr. Chair, before I go to the egg board, may I call on a representative from Prism? Tama po ba yung farm gate price? Kasi narinig po, nag-meeting po tayo dati, if you can recall, di po ba? Bago po naglabas ng price cap. Temporary lang po ito, sabi ninyo, bababa din ito. Whatever happened to that? Tama po ba itong farm gate price ngayon? Kasi ang sinisisi ng retailer, mataas daw po yung farm gate. What happened?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, and all the members of the committee. Yun pong sinabi na sa presyo ng farm gate price. After po ng ating meeting, we had a price cap. And at the time, ang presyo po ng palay noon ay, ng bigas rather, is mataas talaga. Pero sinasabi po natin na mag-harvest season na at that time, and we're expecting that magpo-progress to dahil nga po dadating na yung presyo ng mababang presyo ng palay. During the time of 2 weeks po ng price cap, nag-struggle po talaga ang ating mga stakeholders. Sinalo po namin ng mga traders ng rice millers and then ng retailers ang price cap. And pero nakabili po kami ng presyo na at that time about 17, 18, 19, which is good, up to 20. Nung nagbigay po ng presyo na nagdagdag ng presyo ang NFA ng up to 23 pesos, that was actually okay. However, nun pong nag-announce din po, hindi naman po sa lahat ng buong bansa ang pagbili ng NFA ng 23 plus 2 plus 1 na incentive, I think particularly in Ilocos region. It also affected the price na nag-shoot up na naman po yung presyo. Ngayon po, ang presyo ng fresh, halos wala na po kasi ngayon. So, umabot po sa up to 24, 25 pesos ang fresh. Depende na po sa klase. Pero sa ngayon po, halos wala na, hindi na nagmamatter kung premium siya or rumble. Because ang ano lang po natin is makakuha ng supply. Tama po yung mga binanggit na kanina, that 30 pesos na ang presyo ng palay sa dry. At wala na po halos na mabili. And that is the reason why po kung bakit mataas yung presyo ng ating supposedly nung ating lift po tayo ng ban after that. Pero yun nga po, nag-shoot up na naman yung mga presyo. It's because of that. And konti pa lang din po yung mga nagdadatingan na imported rice, which actually affected yun pong presyo natin dahil po sa supply. Konti ang supply natin.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. I have one last question para sa egg board naman. Ano ho solusyon na nakikita niyo ho rito? Because 10 piso yung isang itlog, nag-ikot po kayo sa farmers. Yung large, yung medium, 9, yung small, 8.50. Last year lang ho, nasa 6-7 lang ho yun. Bakit biglang sumirit na ng sumirit? Can we do something about it? Lalo ho magpapasko, marami pong gumagamit ng itlog. Halos, tsaka Pilipinong alternative ngayon. Yung alternative is itlog yung ulam sa umaga ho. Wala na ho yung mga tuyo. Itlog, kaso mo, napakamahal na. Can we do something about this so para mapababa itong itlog?
Sir, first of all, ang kagandahan po sa layer industry, unlike sa broiler and sa swine, pinaka-resilient po ang layer industry. Mabilis pong mag-adapt or mag-correct yung industry. Like ngayon, sabi ko nga kanina, confident po kami na tumataas na po yung supply. Tumataas na po yung currently tumataas na po yung number of birds ngayon. Hanggang next year, actually ang worry nga po namin by next year may oversupply na po eh. Mabilis po ang reaction po sa layer industry, sir, no? Pero to help the industry, para sa amin po, no, if we could fast track po yung processing po natin noong importation or yung availability po ng bird flu vaccine, malaki po yung peace of mind na ibibigay po ito sa mga farmers at makakapag full load na po in terms of capacity ang ating mga farmers, no. Marami pong problema pero tingin ko po isa-isa po we could start po. Ang major po kasi dito for us sa association namin is yung issue po sa bird flu.
Yes, so thank you, Honorable Deputy Majority Leader.
Ria? Ria?
Cong Joey, Chair Joey Salceda. Yeah,
Isa lang. Pwede bang gamitin yung yung 35% para sa fertilizer discount cards for farmers? Yung tariffs. Imbis na RFFA mga cash pinamimigay na
That is up to Congress, Mr. Chair. Yeah.
yung nasa batas hindi pwede?
Yung sa batas ang nakalagay lang doon ay seeds, mechanization,
So we have to change it.
then the
Yung
the
okay na
excess-
sir kasi
excess
magagalit sa
tariff.
si Ria. Okay na
Yeah.
sir. So hindi pwede. Yung PL480, pwede ba natin tanggapin yun as accept it as grains rather than as selling it on the world market?
Actually, the PL480, there's also a fertilizer part component. We can use that.
Component. So are we accepting the grains delivery?
Wala na ho yatang PL480.
Meron nakalagay eh. Doon sa recent na binigay ng US.
Then we can avail.
Kasi hindi nyo kasi nasa treasury eh. Ito kasi BS math to eh. You should have a structural approach to the role of NFA. Sir? BS math Ateneo to si Buko and Buko. Sir? Di ba you should mukhang kailangan ng structural buffer?
Actually, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, we're putting in major changes sa NFA before any changes sa RTL. No?
But that will not change.
yeah.
The way
Yeah.
the prices are moving, you need structural buffer.
Yes.
Not the tactical buffer that you're trying to promote.
Yeah. Sa ngayon, from the local, definitely we cannot expand supply. In fact, we're going to exacerbate prices
Kaya
when
nga,
we buy local because we don't make it available for immediate
it,
use.
Mr. Chair.
No? So it's going to accelerate prices. No, so it's difficult. No, it's a difficult situation. So sa ngayon, our only option is external. No, we're limited by RTL. So if we have a transformation program sa NFA, but that's midterm to long-term program, no, to improve NFA. But for immediate, our recommendation now to the secretary and the president, aside from the Indian G2P na supply, NFA made a recommendation, initial recommendation to the president to draw from the ASEAN +3 emergency rice reserve. No? So there are earmarked volumes from the members of the ASEAN +3, particularly Vietnam, 15,000 tons, Thailand, 15,000 tons, China, 300,000 tons, Japan, 250,000 tons, and Korea, 150,000 tons. These last three countries, China, Korea, and Japan, normally has a big food security stock. And they replenish that yearly. No? When they replenish, they normally either sell this at a preferential price, like through the After program, wherein we can buy it at a lower price than the world market, or they mainly give this as grants to several countries, especially Africa, including Philippines. We normally get from them, no? But in smaller volumes as grant. But as trade, we can get as much as what we need, the 330,000 tons, subject to the approval of the president, through this, what they call tier 1 of that After program. And we're recommending already to the president to draw from that, because the level of buffer stock that we have for NFA cannot respond to the calamity relief that we are expecting for next year, 2024. And if ever we're going to buy and replenish our stock for 2024, and normally that happens during the wet season crop, September, October, November, that should be made available for 2025. Otherwise, we will have the same problem by 2025 if we dig into that stock. So the only way right now is to get external supply, and we're going to draw from the Emergency Reserve Board. So that's in part of the government. And since that is a treaty, and I would like to refer that to the committee later on, no? Since that's a treaty signed several years ago, this is not subject to RTL. No? So, meaning this will be exempted from the restrictions from RTL, unless, of course, Congress and Senate would repeal this treaty explicitly. So, no, the Senate, particularly. But as of now, it is effective. It hasn't been tried before the Tier 1 since it was implemented 10 years ago. But we will make that a serious try. We had already preliminary discussions with the Secretariat of APTER based in Bangkok, and we have an initial discussion with Thailand, Vietnam, and Japan for 15, and 10,000 respectively. No? But we want to ramp that up to about 330 subject to the approval of the President, which we expect to be approved by the President, and will be something that he will bring up to his discussion at the presidential prime minister level.
Yes, thank you, admin. Anyway, we look forward to be further briefed dun sa mga upcoming, and of course your current negotiations with the ASEAN. I think they're good proposals, and I think it was particularly lobbied also by our speaker Martin Romualdez. So at this point, the chair would now like to recognize the Honorable Ria Vergara.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to ask Yusek Sebastian, could you show us the slide where you have the farm gate prices and the suggested retail again?
Comsec, can you?
The reason, Mr. Chair, I bring this up is last November 15, the DA said that rice prices will remain affordable for Filipino consumers, and 2023 will be a good harvest year for the Philippines. Not that, some more pa. Next, this one. That one. Ito po, Yusek. In the press release of the DA to the Office of the President, the computation is different from what you're presenting to us.